Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Tech Talk. I am your host and Chief Cloud Officer with Auditmacs, Jeff Hootselle. As you guys know, Tech Talk is a conversation show. We chat with industry leaders and subject matter experts really in all different areas of technology. We talk about the things they're passionate about. We talk about current events and kind of the cool stuff that's coming down the road in this high-paced world of tech. So today we've got a fantastic guest. We're being joined by Will Baxter with Bowfly Solutions. Will's coming to us from up in Northern Virginia. Will, thanks for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. So Will, maybe from the beginning, tell folks a little bit about Bowfly and kind of what your mission is, what you guys do.
Certainly. So my background personally, you can see we're coming from our work from home garage today here, but so please forgive me for that. So really my background is I come from a security background. I was in the Marine Corps and did technical surveillance for the embassies overseas for several years. And then when I left there, I went for diplomatic security and started doing technical surveillance of buildings and infrastructure facilities overseas. One of the things I was involved in was looking at the attack on the embassy in Saudi Arabia back in 2004, I believe it was, or between 2004 and 2008, somewhere in that range. And putting together the surveillance videos and on how that attack took place and looking at the camera systems. And that was one of my jobs. Well, the last 15 years, I went through an IT security kind of phase and built internal intrusion detection systems and controls for US CERT and Homeland Security, and kind of took that technical surveillance and took it into a real deep IT security background. And after a few years or many years of that, have transitioned into building, construction, and renovation, and really real estate. And what I see is a massive opportunity between, where security, kind of high-end security and high-end IT versus construction, real estate, and the physical world. And there's such a chasm. The closest thing people have is an iPhone that kind of bridges those gaps, and it makes it very simple for them. But when you really think about the automation, the efficiencies, the ability for us to be more efficient in our daily lives, have IT more readily integrated into our lives, into our homes, into our HVAC systems, into our air quality, into our water quality. There's a number of massive opportunities in the market right now. And so what Bowfly Solutions is doing is looking at those gaps, analyzing those gaps. Obviously, we do remodeling and construction ourselves. And so looking at opportunities to apply those technologies, looking for those use cases and looking for partners that have kind of leading technologies already. And then how do we put those into real world scenarios and test them and figure out which ones are profitable and economical to apply? Because I think that's why we have that gap right now. It's not economical to apply a lot of these cutting edge technologies. It's expensive, it's frustrating, it's aggravating. And so long story longer, that's sort of Bowfly's gap or focus is to look at those future opportunities in the market and then figure out where to partner and how to maybe attack some of those.
Yeah, it's interesting, Will. So you start to look at kind of where we're at from a technology standpoint when it comes to kind of the construction world and the real estate model. There's all this new technology that's available with IoT and the smarter buildings and all these different things you can incorporate and tie into your technology systems, at the same time keeping security in mind. But now kind of you're thrown into the mix, everything that's going on with the pandemic. How do you see kind of the melding of those different worlds going forward to it, where people are somewhat budget constrained because of the economy and kind of hopefully the rebound we're getting on, but at the same time they're wanting to leverage technology, but also in the mix is, hey, are people going to be working from home? Are they in the office? It's uncertain. We got to keep them safe. How do you kind of see that, all those worlds coming together?
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Honestly, business on the construction side and the renovation side is booming. And we've actually leveraged technology, and we use Matterport's virtual camera technology, 360 camera technology, to do our estimations. And we weren't necessarily doing that. In rare exceptions were we doing that. Now we have the technology, and it's a standard process because of COVID. And It's actually launched us forward. We had long talked about doing it, but people didn't have they want to physically see you. They want to physically have a conversation. They felt more comfortable. Well, now they don't. And so this kind of gave us the opportunity to launch us forward. And now people prefer to have a Zoom estimator come over, or an estimator come over and do a 360-degree, get some measurements. And then we meet on a Zoom call like this. You're in the comfort of your home. You're not pressured. I'm not standing in your living room. You don't have to be uncomfortable asking me to leave, or any of those weird things that sometimes, person to person interactions, occur. And so we're leveraging technology in a way that's allowing us to do 2 and 3 times the number of estimates, or 2 and 3 times the number of looking at 2 and 3 times the number of projects. We can be more efficient. And so that's just one example that I think COVID is driving people into areas with technology they would have never gone. And I think it's good. I think it's shifting behavior and forcing us to look at efficiency, both in people's internal homes. Do they have a home office? Because they've ignored their home offices. They're driving 60 hours a week. They're going back and forth to work. They don't have time to focus on the house. Well, now they're home. They've thought about it. They're ready to invest, and they're ready to make a more efficient living space out of their home. And so those are some of the trends that I think I've seen from COVID. And to your point, it's going to have a massive impact on the commercial real estate market. And that's going to leave some vacancy, and that's going to leave a lot of opportunity to repurpose that commercial space over the next 5 to 10 years into either mixed use residential or some other sort of flex workspace or something like that.
Yeah, so as you're looking at companies now, and they're starting to balance this idea of wanting to remodel their current traditional office space and drive towards that smarter, cleaner, more efficient, safer, facility. What are kind of the top 2 or 3 things that you're seeing people, they get their biggest return on investment for, or really make the biggest bang for their buck, as they're looking to kind of possibly remodel the traditional office?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's so in terms of biggest impact, you're saying for their home office,
home office or traditional. Folks that are doing a traditional office remodel, like where they really focused at and trying to make the biggest changes.
Right now, I don't know that they understand exactly what to do just yet. People are trying to figure out, in your traditional office space, they're trying to figure out who's coming back. They're trying to figure out how do we adjust a floor plan so people can stay 6 feet apart. We've long gone into flex space and shared workspace where you don't have an assigned desk, come in wherever. That's not happening anymore. Shared resources. I mean, even at a golf course, you're no longer sharing water bottles, and you're no longer sharing the divot fillers. Same thing in office, right? You're not sharing community supplies. You're not sharing workrooms. So how is that going to change internal behavior and office functions? I think it's yet to be seen. But it's certainly, they're looking at how do we come up with a hybrid strategy in a traditional office space and yet maintain safety and going forward. So,
yeah, it's definitely interesting times. I mean, Will, I guess for folks that are thinking about, possibly doing a remodel, relooking their spaces and thinking about maybe building new spaces, and they want to find out more about Bowfly, where can they find out more about you guys?
Yeah, well, we have a Facebook page. Find us there. That's probably the best thing. Design Pro Remodeling is our remodeling company. Reach out to Design Pro for renovation projects. I'm sure you can post my information out there. I'm happy to take phone calls or emails or anything. Find me on LinkedIn. Happy to chat with anyone that's got ideas or looking to partner with somebody that's looking to kind of move the ball forward in this realm.
It sounds like you guys are doing some fascinating, amazing stuff. And definitely want to say thank you for your service, your time in the Marine Corps as well. So we appreciate you for that. And thanks for coming on today and just sharing some insights and things you guys are doing today. It's really fascinating stuff. I'd encourage people to go find out more about Bowfly and connect with Will online. But Will, thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Likewise. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You got it. Thank you guys for joining us as well. We'll look forward to catching you on another Tech Talk.